Robert Earl, digitalagentshow.com. Today I'm going to show you how to get your Alabama real estate license. I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide of how to get your initial license with the state of Alabama. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to meet some prerequisites. You have to be a U.S. citizen, a permanent resident alien, or legally present in the United States, and be at least 19 years old. You can have residency in any state in the United States. It does not have to be Alabama. You have to show proof of a high school graduation or the equivalent and not been convicted of a felony or a crime. Now, if you have specific questions about your particular case, you're going to need to get in contact with the Alabama Real Estate Commission to ask them questions as to whether or not you would be applicable to apply for a license. You also have to not have a license that's been rejected or revoked in any state within the last 2 years. So those are the prerequisites that you have to do in order to be able to sign up for the next step, which is an approved 60-hour Alabama real estate pre-licensing course. Now, this 60-hour course must be completed before you can sit for the Alabama licensing exam. When you go through this course can be either online or in a classroom format. And I've got a link here that will let you know my guide to selecting a real estate school, so you can go through that when you get finished with this video, and that will give you a guide to show you whether or not you should select an online or classroom course. You're taking the course. The course is going to teach you the fundamentals of real estate. It's not going to teach you how to sell real estate. It's going to give you the facts, the figures, the terminology that you're going to need to be able to remember to pass 2 tests. The first test is going to be the final exam for the course. And then the second part is going to be the independently administered state/national exam. And I'll get to that portion in just a bit. The final exam of the course is going to be a proctored test, and this can be an online proctored. You have to score 70% or above. And I talk about many times in the guide to selecting a real estate school, but I'm going to bring it up here as well, that you want to make sure that you have a exam preparation module so that you have sample test questions that you can go over and over again. Now, when you've completed the course, when you've passed the course final exam, now you can register for a temporary ID. And this pre-registration with the Real Estate Commission allows you to schedule the state license exam. And this will also be the pre-issuing of a temporary ID for your license. This information is required to expedite the exchange of information that's going to occur between your instructor, the exam provider, and the state. You can register for a temporary ID at the State of Alabama website. I'm going to have a link to that down below. This number is what's needed in order to go take the pre-licensing test that you're going to be going through. So, you've met the pre-requirements, you've taken the course, you've passed the final exam of the course, you've gotten your temporary ID, you are now in position to be able to take the real estate licensing examination. On this real estate exam, you have to also score 70 or above. And applicants have 6 months to pass the state exam after completing the course. If you do not meet this deadline of 6 months, then you have to go back and take the course all over again from scratch. And you'll have the expense of doing this again. So it's very important This is one of those things that you want to think about. Is this the right time for me to be thinking about real estate in my life? Because when you make a commitment to the course and when you make a commitment to start to take these tests, there's deadlines that will start coming up that you need to have the mindset that you're going to get through, but B, also have the finances saved up so that you can take the courses and then take the test and move through each particular step. Now, once you've done that application, you've passed the test, there is a post-licensing training course that you must complete within your first 12 months of licensing. If you do not complete this within your first 12 months, you are going to be put into an inactive status and you will not be able to sell real estate or collect commissions. So this is a 30-hour post-licensing course, and you have the option when you go to sign up for your original course of paying for just the original course, or also selecting a package that will also have the post-licensing course included into it. I would encourage you to take this sooner rather than later after you get licensed. I know there's going to be a lot of information. You're going to have to learn how to sell real estate, but make sure you carve out some time to take this 30-hour course, because a lot of the principles and information that you learned in the pre-licensing course are still going to apply to the post-licensing course. So therefore, you want to still go through this while it is fresh in your mind. Now, going through some of the particular steps of it, that 60-hour course must be completed within 1 year of your start date on the course. So if you're taking this, you sign up for the course, it's valid for 1 year. I would not advise that you take the year to go through the entire course. I would say that 60-hour course, you're going to want to get that 60-hour course done in anywhere from 11 to 30 days. You do not want to plan on it going any longer than that, because you'll start to forget the information that you learned in the first chapters or the first modules by the time you go to take the test. And the course is designed to prepare you to pass those tests when used in conjunction with a exam prep module. When you've completed that course, then your examination must be taken through either PSI or AMP and passed within 6 months after the end date of the pre-licensing course. You're going to submit that application for your temporary salesperson license. That application must be done within 90 days. So there is another time frame that goes through here of you being able to submit in not just the application, but your fees and information that goes through there. And then there's also that time frame regarding your post-licensing course, so that you make sure that that course must be completed within that first year of being licensed to go through this. If you have a lapsed temporary salesperson license, if you fail to submit your application, your final application of you going through this, you're going to have to go back through and complete the pre-licensing course again. So that's something that you just want to make sure that you're going through and taking the checklist and doing this. Now, a little bit ago, I talked about 11 days, and it is possible for you to get your 60-hour course done in as little as 11 days. Let me explain. The students cannot receive credit for completing more than 6 hours in a course per day. And the way in which this works is that when you're doing an online system, the counter will keep track of the time that you've spent within the modules doing the reading and completing the sample test questions that are included with each chapter. At the rate of 6 hours per day, you are not allowed to complete the course in less than 11 days. Therefore, your first attempt for the live proctored course final examination cannot be accessible until the 11th day after starting the course. But what that also lets you know that is if you're thinking about signing up for a classroom course, that is going to be spread out over a longer period of time. So if you're serious about getting into real estate and you want to become active sooner rather than later, then that online course option allows you to go through and do these particular things and get going sooner rather than later so that you can start to collect a commission. Now, all of this is administered by the Alabama Real Estate Commission. You can visit their link. I'll have that link down below that if you want to get any specifics, if you have a question about your specific eligibility, your licensing capabilities, whether you have had a past run-in with the law or something like that, you want to reach out to them. Also, if you're moving from another state, you'll want to go through the details of your specific state for reciprocity so that you can become licensed. Now, this is just the guide to getting your real estate license. I have another video that's a comprehensive webinar that I did that talks about the complete process of getting your license, finding a real estate company to work with, what questions you should ask a broker. I've got a link to that as well, and I would invite you to do that. Also, if you're looking for a brokerage or a company in your particular area, you can go to digitalagentshow.com. I've got a little button on the sidebar that will help you in finding a brokerage, and you'll be able to walk through that information. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If it has, please leave a comment. We'll have other information about getting started in your real estate career. So feel free to subscribe to this channel. Until next time, make it a great day.